If you teach foreign languages or you speak more than one language, then you probably have experienced that people approach you and then they say, oh cool, I also speak XYZ language and I actually learn it on Duolingo. That is the moment when I have to facepalm myself, because in language learning there are certain things which will bring you nowhere, and today I'm gonna tell you about how not to learn a foreign language or how to waste your time. Like I said, one of the most common misconceptions nowadays caused by advertising is that people believe that they can learn a foreign language on language apps like Duolingo or any other app similar to this one. Let me tell you why it doesn't work. Ask yourself a question: why am I learning a foreign language? Your answers may be like, I want to study abroad, I need it for my job, or I just want to travel. Now I will ask you another question: will you have to talk to other people in that language? In 100% of cases you will say yes, because be that for studies, be that for your job, be that for traveling, it involves communicating to other people. So we actually narrowed down your reasons for learning a language to real communication. And so real communication happens only when you talk to real people. And language is only a means of communication, because this is what we need to express our ideas and our thoughts. Now let's go back to the app I was talking about. Do you actually talk to real people there? Do you build more complex sentences than "my cat is drinking milk"? Can you actually express your idea and thoughts there? Because when you talk to people, your speech is spontaneous. You never know what the other person will say, but you always know what comes on that app. And so if you constantly keep repeating something, you do not learn anything new. And do you even know what grammar you're learning on that app? Because just because you get certain sentences and you insert certain words or you translate them, that doesn't mean that you are learning something new. If your argument is now gonna be like, oh, but I'm on a 365-day streak, that doesn't mean anything, because that only means that this is how much time you have wasted. And also think of the approach that the app chooses to contact you if you don't go on it. I used to have it on my phone and it would send me notifications like, hey, are you stupid? Get on the app and learn the words again, you know? And so why would you even need someone or something to treat you like shit? Because in that case, you can always call your ex, you know? But if you want to learn a language, you need a friendly atmosphere. You want to feel like it's your family, it's your friend, you know, so that you feel comfortable talking to that person. So I would actually recommend a private teacher or a school where you feel comfortable going to and you actually want to go there and you want to talk there, you know? Now, speaking of language schools, since this video is about how to waste your time and how not to learn a language, if you read something like, you can enter the course any day of the week or any day of the month, or like every Monday, every 2 weeks, whatever, run from that school or never book a course there. Because just think of it, if you are the one to take the course, that means, and you join like the second Monday the course started. That means that you have already missed 2 weeks of that material. Now, are you supposed to catch up on that on your own, or is the teacher going to go over the stuff again? Because now we go into the shoes of the person who is already taking the course, and so if the teacher actually decides to go over the stuff again, that means you are the person taking the course, right? That means you are wasting your time now, because the stuff is being repeated for some other person who joined the course later. And I know, yeah, but I mean, they joined the course, etc. Yeah, but it's your time and it's your money, so why would you care? And then you don't know how many people will be joining the course like that, because advertising continues. And so that means that people will be joining the course after all, right? Because someone will keep on buying that. If you see something like, we use our own teaching materials, please do not buy that either. It's just cheaper for a school to print their own textbooks that they have designed. If you buy certified books, they are certified for a reason. And these are the textbooks that you would need when you prepare for different language exams, right? When you simply want to improve your level. And they, like I said, yeah, they're also a part of marketing, but they are certified by language institutions at which you want later on take your exam. If you pay low money for the course, but the course offers you a lot of hours and you can come to the class whenever you want to, oh, but why is it bad? Like, if I don't pay much, but I still get a lot of classes to go to, that is profitable as fuck. Yeah, but that means if you pay low money, somebody gets not that much. That means that they either hire students who don't have any teaching experience, which isn't bad on its own, but if you have to prepare for an exam and then you have a student teaching you for that exam, what do you get out of it, right? So just always keep on thinking about yourself and what you get from that language learning, because at the end, it might actually take you longer time and you might end up spending more money on that. If that is not the case and you actually have qualified teachers, or you simply have adults teaching at the school, you know, if you don't pay much for the course, that means the teachers working at that school are also underpaid. If they are underpaid, they're less motivated to work. This is just how it works, right? If you don't get much money for the job you get, for the work you do, then you don't want to work, right? And so your teachers will also not be motivated to work, right? Unless they come from some poor countries, which is a whole different topic. We offer a premium class. It has mixed levels. We call it a flex. Let me translate that for you. That means we didn't get enough students, and so now we put students of different levels in the same group, right? Now, why is it bad for you? Because if you it will be either too difficult for you or too easy for you if you are in that course, meaning you're wasting your time anyway. If your teacher is constantly switching to the language that you are more comfortable speaking, because let's say your native language is Russian and then you're learning English, and so your teacher would constantly switch to Russian to explain something, that is not a good sign. We're not talking about the beginner levels, okay? Because if you're like B1, more like B2 and above, it is already possible for you to understand what the teacher is saying in other words. If your teacher prefers to switch to another language, that means they are not comfortable speaking that language, or they don't know how to explain something. So none of that is good for you. And the thing is, you're gonna be like, yeah, but it saves my time. In a way, yes, it does. And sometimes it is better, but generally you risk not expanding your vocabulary, because when your teacher does explain something in the foreign language, just using different words, then you expand your vocabulary, and then you also learn how to express your ideas using different words and using different grammar structures. And that is a good skill. First of all, you cannot know every single word in a foreign language. Second of all, even if you do forget it, like you know it but you just forget it, you have to be able to express your ideas differently using other grammar constructions or other words, because sometimes it happens that our memory fails us and you just cannot remember the word. So what now? Is the other person supposed to wait for you while you're thinking or trying to remember the word? No, you just adjust and then you change what you initially wanted to say and you say it differently. Now, why do such schools continue to exist if they're so bad? Well, there are different reasons to that. One reason would be a lot of advertising, right? They do a lot of marketing, and so people just book the course, and then let's see, they feel like something is not going according to plan, and so but they already kind of paid for it, right? So they are maybe will continue going to the course, maybe they will quit it, but anyway, they already paid for it. And so if the course continues for like 3 months, then well, you got your money, right? And so other people will not know they cannot know whether it's good or bad, right? And they will just continue paying for these things because they keep seeing some advertisement. Another reason is that when that happens and you take the course and you see like things aren't working well for me, you will be like, well, I wonder why. I guess that's because I'm so stupid. You know, like people just think they don't know the language well enough, and so they put the blame on their shoulders and they think something is wrong with them instead of thinking that the teaching process is just not working. Well, that's pretty much it. I hope this information has been useful for you. So subscribe, drop a like, and maybe comment. Bye-bye.